alaikum and welcome back to the Burj Banter episode of Press Pause with Jouhayna. As you can see, I have my guest here, Daniel. Her name actually is, wait, I have to double check because I learned it today after 5 years, Corinne. And she says she's never played Jenga before. And tell me the story you were telling me now just before we started, that the kids brought it during COVID.
Yes,
okay.
For us to play it because every evening we used to play something with them. So I don't remember that I played it. Maybe they played it and I watched.
Oh, okay.
So this will be my first experience.
Okay, well, you are definitely the first guest so far who has never played Jenga before. And yeah, I've explained it to you. I'll go through the rules again. The twist in this game is each block has a handwritten question on it by me. And I wrote the questions a long time ago. And even when I've played the game in the past with other guests, I've forgotten what the questions were. And it's a shock to me as well. So are you ready for the rules?
Ready.
Jenga, it consists of 54 hardwood blocks and it's an 18-story tower, 1-8. And Jenga is actually derived from the word kujenga in Swahili, which means to build. So, and you know, you've met my mom. She's Swahili. So this is paying homage to my mother, like just fusing everything together. So the rules are you can only use one hand at a time, which is why when you came into the house, I asked you if you're right-handed. So I sit you on this side, so you have the advantage. Either hand may be used, but only one may touch the tower at any time. So if you're using your right hand, you commit only right hand for that session. If the second time we're picking a block, you want to use your other hand, you can do that. You may tap a block to find a loose one, but if you move the block out of place, you must fix your hand. You must fix it using one hand before touching another block. And you can remove one block per turn. So we'll draw the block, read the question. If I've drawn it, I'll ask you the question. And then after you're done answering, I'll answer as well. So you learn more about me too. And then the same, vice versa. The person who draws asks the question for the other to answer. Oh, I got ahead of myself with that rule. And also, last but not least, there's a lucky piece where the guest gets to ask me a question. So somewhere in there, it is there. And if you feel at any point you want to ask me a question, you're welcome to, because I'm part of the Daniel family.
Of course you are.
Okay, so I'll let you go first since you're the guest.
Okay, so.
Oh, beginner's luck. First block.
Here we are. What are your thoughts on the concept of resting or fate? Destiny or fate?
Oh, destiny or fate.
This is it?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Okay.
Well, I started exploring Islam more now as an adult. And, you know, nasib is, everything is written. So I feel like no matter what's meant for you will come for you in the best and the worst way. I'm listening to this book called Secrets of Divine Love. And she said something along the lines of, if something is meant for you, even if it's across the other side of the world, it'll find you. And if something is not meant for you, even if it's as close to you as your jugular vein, you will not get it. So, nasib, what's written will be. And I believe in that. And there's been so much that's happened since I've opened my eyes to Islam and like been more in tune with that. And I'm like, wow, it really is true. So yeah. What about you?
For me also, as we said in the podcast, I believe that whatever God wants you to do, as you said, you try your best in anything, and whatever is written for you, whatever God wants you, He will facilitate it.
Yeah.
If you find it easy or not easy, it will happen. And also, I always tell my kids that you have to believe this, even when something happens and you didn't like what happened, you don't know the bigger picture now.
True.
So He knows. So there's a reason for this. So for me, for instance, something happened in my job early on in life, and really the last 6 months were really very tough for me. I was transferred to another department, and my boss was really very difficult, to say the least. And I started saying, why? What did I do? What happened? And then I used to come home crying in the car. And I always talk with God. I told Him, I'm sure you're doing this because there's something great for me that will happen and you want me to reach there.
Yeah.
And effectively, after 6 months, something really great happened. And I was, I changed jobs.
Oh, alhamdulillah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of a story as well. To start the podcast, I actually wouldn't have executed this plan, even though I thought about it for so long, because I applied for a different job within the same company and it didn't work out. And the person who got it, alhamdulillah, I'm really, really happy for them. But when I didn't get it, I got really upset because I had a plan, I was going to get out of shift work. And I had plans for that. I was like, oh, I'll go to university, I'll work in the week, study in the weekends. I had a whole plan. But if that went through, I wouldn't have executed the podcast. And the podcast is bringing me a whole other type of joy that I didn't know I could have. And I didn't think that this was something I would even do. But because that didn't work out, I said, okay, what else can I do for myself? As you said, you have to help yourself so God can help you. And, it's just been such an interesting way for me to get to know people, reconnect with people I haven't seen in a while. And, whether it becomes super successful or not, I know I'm happy day to day and that's what matters. So you're so right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now I put this here.
Yes.
Okay, round one.
Round one, and yes, exactly. Okay, let's see. Oh, first block as well. Wow, we're lucky today. Okay. Oh, I feel like you've already answered this. What is the best advice you've ever received? Is there another set of advice you'd like to share? You've given us nuggets of knowledge. So let's see if there's anything left. Otherwise, we can go to another one.
No, there is. I feel the most important thing in life, and this also is what I taught my kids, faith, family, health, and inner peace. This is the most important thing. Many people think that the most important thing is money and making money. For me, this cannot be more wrong. Money comes and goes, but if you lose the 4 things that I've told you, this will be the problem for you. I know many, because we passed financially in some difficulties long time ago. And the kids were a bit affected by it. And I always used to tell them, I always used to say in French, on est riche au cœur. It means we are rich in our heart.
Oh.
Until this day, their friends, they say it also. So this is the most important thing. Family, faith, inner peace, and health. So whoever doesn't have inner peace, he will do things to other people.
Yeah, it's true.
If we come back to my old boss, why did this person used to do these things to all people, not to me? Because this person didn't have inner peace. And instead of fighting back or something, you should be kind and strong. I used to pray for her or for him. Because for God to give this person inner peace.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The best advice I've ever received is the advice you just gave me.
On est riche au cœur.
On est riche au cœur.
Yes. Oh, you speak French?
No, my mom speaks French, but I know how to sound French.
Ah, you sound 100% French. On est riche au cœur.
On est riche au cœur. Yeah, I have this thing where if I spend enough time around somebody speaking, I can copy them on the dot.
You're kidding.
So
we have another Daniel now.
Yeah, done. But it comes to me in a way that I don't realize. So later on, I'll say something and I'll be able to mimic the accent on the dot. So after my week in Thailand, I came back. My mom is like, Joe, they don't sound like that. I don't know what. And then I took my mom to Global Village, I think a couple months later. And we went to Thailand. And she's like, oh my God, Jouhayna, you actually sound like that. Exactly. So, but my mom speaks French and she had a French teacher that used to come to our house most weekends. Her name was Michelle and they spoke French. So I picked up on the sounds, but I struggled to speak French because I did it in school, but I didn't commit to it.
But you understand now if you hear somebody speaking French?
I just know the bonjour. I know bisous, bisous. That's
Most
it.
important.
Exactly. Hello and kisses. So yeah, but that's all that I know really. But yeah, thank you for your compliment on my accent. Okay. Oh yeah, I picked it. It's your turn.
How will I see it? Can I?
You have to. You can do whatever you want.
So,
You're the first guest to get up for a Jenga piece. I love it. Yeah. It's okay. You're fully committed.
how do you define happiness, and what brings you true joy in your life? I can speak 1 hour.
I love it. We need a whole episode on this block alone.
How do you define happiness? Happiness is not having everything in life, but enjoying what you have and giving thanks to God for every moment. Every morning when I wake up, I thank God for this beautiful day, for my family, for our health. And I always, always, always love to mention children all over the world. And I ask God to protect all children and for every child to be happy.
Yeah.
To have a happy childhood, not to need anything. This is really important for me. So happiness is being grateful to everything you have. For my family, this is my happy place. My family, my friends, my children.
Yeah. The Daniel family.
Daniel family all over the world.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. Yani, people think that if you have money, this will be
The answer.
happy. No, I have friends, they are sick, they have a lot of money, but they cannot do anything to their health. Is this happiness? Happiness is being content, being satisfied, thanking God for everything that you have. When you be positive, when you are positive, when you thank God, good things will happen to you. And for me, if anyone, how do you say, hurts me, I pray for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody does things like this to another person if he's good with himself, if he's satisfied, if he has his inner peace. So really, one time something happened in my work. A colleague of mine, somebody did something to her. She went directly to the big boss and she told him, this happened. You know what? Corinne prays for them. So
It's not enough.
but this brings me happiness and joy to ask for happiness and for help for everyone. Look how I think. In your family, in any family, the parents, the father, the mother, wants peace in his family. He wants all his children to love each other, to help each other, to grow. If I help you, love will, God will lift me also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So also at work, the same thing. Your boss has many children. God, we are all the children of God. You, me, everyone.
Everyone, yeah.
So we should help each other. We should love. So God will be happy with us.
Exactly.
This is how I think.
Yeah. I needed this reminder as well because there's somebody who I have to interact with that's quite difficult. And I just needed this reminder.
Anna, I answered the question. You should have answered it first.
Oh no, it's fine. Don't worry. And I'm happy to. I clearly needed to hear your answer first because it is something that's been on my mind, and I'm not happy that I have to interact with a certain individual. And I just needed this reminder.
Always, when there is a difficult person, there is a difficult situation. What I do, I don't know if this applies to your case.
Yeah.
Let the other person feel that you understand where he's coming from.
Okay.
So there is a difficult situation. I understand that you are angry. I understand that you have concerns. So when you hear these statements, you will not be on the defensive mode anymore.
Okay.
If I come, I don't think you are right. Then quickly you will be defensive.
Okay.
You will argue. But I understand where you're coming from. I understand. Then you should.
Okay. Good to know. So do you have, because you specifically asked me if it was for work or personal, do you have different advice for each one?
It depends.
Okay. So if it was work, what do I do? And if it was personal, what do I do? Because not just for me, for everyone listening.
So basically this, if it's on a personal level, you should be more emotional.
Okay.
This is my opinion. There's no true or wrong. But if it's work, you have to be more scientific, more,
Okay.
But in both cases, you should let the other person feel that you understand what he's going through. Yeah, and I understand. This is what I do.
Good to know.
And if you or me or anyone done something wrong, I apologize. We are all subject to do the wrong things, to say the wrong thing, to do the wrong thing. Nobody is perfect except God. So when you fail, when you do something wrong, you will learn from this experience. So I've taught my kids also to, whenever they do something wrong, they should apologize and bear the consequences. But if they didn't do this wrong thing that they have been accused of, they should not apologize. One time, Daniel was small at school. There was a bullying situation, and he was accused of doing something wrong. So he came home, and the director, the principal, gave him a punishment to do. He was maybe 10 years old. He came, I told him, Mom, what happened? Tell me what happened. He told me, Mom, I didn't do anything. And then he started, and Daniel is very detailed. He started telling me what happened and how other children were and where he was standing and why they thought he did something. I told him, okay. He told me on his own, you know what? I told him what? He told me, I will write an email to the principal and I will tell him that I will not do the punishment because this. Okay. I was so proud of him.
Definitely.
He wrote the email. I only corrected one spelling mistake and he sent it. Basically, he ended up doing the punishment.
Okay.
Because then I explained to him that the principal was very nice and he replied back. And Daniel was obsessed with football. So I explained to him when the referee gives his verdict, you cannot go back to it. So, but I'm so proud of you. He thought of it.
Yeah, he came up with a solution to defend himself.
Exactly.
Which is the most important. For me, my happiness is, well, you could hear my dogs barking while you were answering the question. So clearly he wants to be included in the answer. So he's part of my exactly. He's part of my happiness. But yeah, what brings me happiness is just feeling at peace with what I'm doing day to day. I've started praying more. I meditate every day. And in those moments of stillness is when I get to process a lot, even though it's just for a few minutes. And that just brings me happiness because it gives me clarity. And I am the kind of person who likes to have clarity in order for me to make decisions and decide what I'm going to do with my day and how I'm going to spend, everything. So that's what brings me happiness, is just to be able to have a moment to press pause, literally, because for a very long time I didn't do that. So I'm just grateful for the fact that I'm able to do that, because then it makes me better equipped to handle whatever comes my way, to be a wife to Andy, a big sister to my sisters, a good daughter to my mother, and just to support the people in my life that I care about. So I'm happy I'm able to do that, because before I used to get burnt out so fast, and then I'd shut everyone I love out because I feel like I need to be alone, but then I don't. And so I'm just happy I've been able to find that. Good. Yeah, alhamdulillah. Oh, I can put that back up. Okay. All right. Oh, here we go. Done. Oh, have you ever had a nickname? What is it and what does it mean to you?
Okay. So my mom used to call me 𝐾𝐭.
𝐾𝐭.
𝐾𝐭. So my name is �Κ𝐭. I used to love it. But then now, my friends here, our family, they call me coconut.
Coconut.
Coco.
Okay.
Coconut, because I have a part of me that is like I told you, I danced on the streets.
Oh,
there is this part of me like a coconut.
Oh, like cocoa for a coconut, like crazy.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
I love that.
𝐾𝐭 I love, and the coco I.
Oh, okay. And then is it just because of what your name sounds like that your mom called you
Yes.
that?
𝐾𝐭.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
I need to think of another nickname because, subhanAllah, almost every guest has picked this block.
Ah, really?
Yeah, so I need to come up with another name. Okay, let's see. I've done Joe because everyone calls me Joe. Jouhayna because my grandma, when she would write in her journal, Jouhayna was too long, so she shortened it to Jouhayna. And then I just, and then she started just calling me Jouhayna as well. And then what else? Oh, in school, oh yeah, Mojo Jojo. You like from Powerpuff Girls? Because Jouhayna and Joe, so Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
Yeah, I got called that for a long time in school, actually. Yeah, because he was like he had a big, he has that like, do you know Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls?
Not specifically. I know Powerpuff Girls.
Okay.
But I don't know exactly.
You know, like the evil villain who's a monkey with the big head?
God.
No? Oh.
Okay. No.
So anyway, so I feel like I had the kids bullied me in school for having a big forehead. And because he had this huge brain and head.
A big forehead means I'm smart.
Yeah, I wish I knew that comeback when I was younger. But yeah, so they called me Mojo Jojo, and they're like, it's because you have a big forehead and he had that big head as well. So yeah,
Okay.
Mojo Jojo. Okay.
Who is your hero?
Who's my hero? My mom, my auntie, and my grandma. So I have heroes.
Heroes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Why?
It's your podcast, so yes, I'll ask. Exactly.
I was thinking what to ask her. It came now.
It's cute now. Well, so my grandma, if she's someone very close to my heart, my mother's mother. I hope you get to meet her one day. I need to bring her to Ripe, but it's too much walking for her. So the wheelchair on the gravel is too much. So we'll figure something out because I really want you to meet her one day.
I can come out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Good plan. I'll do my full order and then I'll bring you so you can meet her. So my grandmother, she's been through a lot of hardship in her whole life. And no matter what, she always is unapologetically there for you and so loving. And growing up, she was like my safe space. Because my mom was busy working. She started her own business. My father was a shift worker. So my grandma, my nanima, she was the one who was always there with me. She cooks. She would cook, clean, take care of me, like everything. So she was like she was my mother's mother, but in my heart also, she was my mom too. And yeah, I just have such beautiful memories with her. And then, of course, she birthed my mother and my mom made me. So I love my mom for that. But also she's such a strong and resilient woman. Like you've met my mom, you meet her and she's so lighthearted and bubbly and so welcoming. But
welcoming.
Exactly. And she's gone through such a tough time, like her whole life, but she won't bring that darkness to you. She'll just bring light, which is so beautiful.
Like my mom.
Yeah. And my auntie, who is my mom's older sister, she's always been like my mom, you've met her, she's very loud. Like when people meet me, they're like, oh, you're so loud. I'm like, I am 5% of my mother. Not even close. Really. So my auntie is polar opposite of my mom in a sense of like volume levels. She's very quiet. She's very calculated with everything she does. And I feel like also people would think I'm her daughter, not my mom's daughter, because we look very similar. Our body shape is very similar. If we're walking together, they think we even have the same walk. And yeah, like whoever is obsessed with numerology, I'm born on 7/1, so 7 January, and she's born on 1/7, 1st of July.
Oof.
And we have and then I'm born in 1995, so 9/5, and she's born in 1959. So our numbers are on the dot opposite, but the same. And we have so many similarities. So I don't believe in numerology and I'm not obsessed with it, like some of the people I've had in my life. But that is an uncanny way of us being so similar in so many ways. And yeah, I've always loved her. She's always been very stable in my life. So in summer, I'd go visit her. because my mom was so busy in summer working with the animals because she was a veterinary doctor and she had her own kennel and cattery. So everyone travels for summer. We have over 100 pets we're taking care of. So if I wasn't staying the summer to volunteer when I was older, when I was younger, she's like, I need you to take care of the kids so I can sort out the clinic. So she would send us to my auntie for 3 months. And my auntie got the experience of dealing with 3 young girls. And then my mom was here, busy working.
Here or
she's in the States.
In the States.
Yeah. So we would go visit her every summer. And she would take us to Disney World. Is it Disneyland or Disney World that's in Florida? I can't remember. But I don't like roller coasters. I'm the only child traumatized by Disneyland or Disney World because we went on the ride and I was like, oh, all right. The first ride we went on, and I was tall enough to ride on any ride at this point. And we went on this ride and it took us and shot us straight into the air. You know those ones that go all the way up and then down, up, down, up, down.
I hate them.
I levitated off my seat, but I was held by the straps, but I thought I was flying off the roller coaster. And I was like, I don't like it here. And this is the first ride and I was traumatized. And she believed, so there's this term called Paisa Wasoon, which means your money's worth. She's like, I've paid for these tickets. We're doing every ride at least once to make money's worth. So traumatizing. So I'm the only kid in the whole world, I'm sure, that is traumatized by Disney.
Wow.
Yeah, but she meant well. And I loved visiting her. I loved the road trips. There was one road trip we did. I'm going on a tangent, but who cares?
Okay.
We rented a van to go from Georgia to Florida. I think it was a 6-hour drive. And the only one DVD that was working in the car for us to watch was Shark Tale. And to this day, I cannot watch it anymore because I'm oversaturated. 6 hours of Shark Tale. Yeah. So I loved all of it. And, you know, she was such a stable and loving person for me to go to and have all these adventures with. And when I come here, my mom is the complete opposite. So I feel like I learned so much from my grandmother who's, you know, she had taught me how to cook and be nurturing. My mother who taught me to be loud and unapologetic, and I'm here, deal with it. But, you know, because my mom's very unapologetically like present when she shows up to any place. And my auntie taught me that it's also okay to be a little quiet and watch from a distance. But she's silent and impactful. So I've learned so much from them.
She learned from each one.
Yeah.
Took the things.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so blessed to have such strong women to have built the foundation of who I am.
Exactly.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah.
For me, it will be a very shorter version. So it's my mom.
Okay.
So as I said before, she's really, she impacted my life a lot. Her spirit, her how she loved her family, how she took care of us, how she gave time to each child, how she used to react. And she was really very slim, but then all of a sudden she started gaining weight.
Okay.
And she had a thyroid problem.
Okay.
I'm giving you an example here, the things that I took from her. So she started taking medicine for the thyroid, but the weight didn't go off.
Okay.
So afterwards, she decided to stop all medication. She used to love the actress Cher. You know her?
Yeah.
Cher. She printed many photos of Cher. She started putting them everywhere.
Okay.
Especially on the fridge.
Okay.
So this technique, when she wanted to open the fridge and eat, she would see Cher's photo, and this will hold her from overindulging. And she did her special diet. She ate everything, but in moderation.
Okay.
She used to cook for the family and then take what is small portions for herself. So the way she reacted in this situation, I loved it. She lost all the weight afterwards.
MashaAllah.
Without the medication. She started walking every day.
Okay.
And I remember also, I loved every afternoon, we used to sit on the balcony in Lebanon and discuss. And she used to tell me always to relax your eyes, look at the sunset, how it goes, the horizon.
Yeah.
So I loved her spirit. Everyone loved her. Wherever she goes, with whoever she spoke to, she used to bring joy, even though she had, as you said, your mom, she didn't have a smooth or easy childhood herself. So she passed many things in life. For me, everything that happens to you in your childhood leaves an impact to who you are now.
Yeah, very true.
Yes. So this we can put here.
Yes.
Your turn.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that was...
So when we first started, I thought from the first round I will...
Yeah, no, you did so good. Okay. Oh, this is well, it's a similar story to what you just mentioned. What is a childhood memory that has helped shape you?
All these things.
Yeah, I feel like you already mentioned it. Okay. For me, there's not a memory that I have. It's more of like the stories that I was told, what my personality was like. So my mom, when she met my dad and everything, one of the gifts he got for her is a German Shepherd, you know, and he was in the police and everything. So he gave her this German Shepherd as a gift, and then, you know, they were married, and then my mom had me and everything. And this dog, his name was Rocky, and he was such a wonderful, gentle, sweet dog. And with me especially, he was like my protector. So my mom said that if she never needed a baby monitor, because if I cry in the room, he'll come to her in the kitchen.
Wow.
And he'll pull on her dress skirt like, yalla, yalla, let's go. She's crying, you know. And growing up with him, I believed I was a princess. So Disney,
you are still a princess.
Thank you. And I loved wearing princess dresses. So he was like my horse. So I'd come home from school, and what I used to do is I would wear my princess dress, and then I was told, oh no, you have to wear your uniform. And I'm like, fine. So I'll wear my uniform, pack my princess dress in my school bag, go to school, change because I'm a princess. And then now, because how can you make me wear a uniform? And then, you know, the teachers in school and everything would always say, like, Jouhayna, you can wear this at home. It's fine, but you have to wear a uniform at school. But then no matter what, whenever I'd come home, I'd make sure I'm in my princess dress. But I acted like a little boy. So I wanted to be like Tarzan.
But with a princess dress.
But with a princess dress. And he was my horsey. So I would just like sit on his back and giddy up.
Wow.
So yeah, so this is my memory of just like, even to this day, you know, I'm very feminine with the way that I dress and everything like that. But I work in a very male-dominated industry. And no matter what, I'm unapologetically feminine with how I show up. And I was like that since I was a kid. But then it was princess dresses, like big poofy ones. I'm just happy that my mom got them for me in the first place, because I was obsessed with them. And I had a pink one, a white one, and a blue one from what I can remember.
Wow.
Now that I think about it, I know those are the 3 colors I had. And yeah, my grandma used to make me like ringlets. So she would like, I have naturally curly hair anyway, but she would brush them in a way and then turn them into ringlets. So they're even more defined curls. And yeah, and I would be rocking up this little mixed kid in a big puffy princess dress with her big German Shepherd next to her and her ringlets. That was my whole vibe and energy. And it's the same now, except I have 3 completely different dog breeds. So yeah, okay. All right, your turn.
My turn. Doing a great job.
Yeah, you're doing so. You go home and tell the kids you're enjoying the champion now.
Yeah, champion. How do you want to be remembered?
Oh,
I would like to be remembered, and I would like people to smile when they remember me. To remember me as a good person, as a loving person, strong, kind and strong. Kind and strong. This combination is really very good. You cannot just be kind only. People will take advantage of you. You should be kind to a certain extent, and then be strong, but still being kind. Yeah.
Jojo also agrees in the garden.
Agrees.
He agrees.
So for me also, something that I would like to say, whenever you feel not discomfort, you feel discomfort with a certain person, me, what I do, I just keep my distance.
Okay.
I don't do anything negative. It's not my job or my responsibility to educate him or her, or tell them what's good or wrong, because every person is what he is today because of something that happened to him.
True.
If you are good or bad, your childhood shaped you, or something happened that shaped you. So for me, I just take my distance and still speak with the person, but take my distance. And this is what also I teach my children. So be kind, be strong, because at the end of the day, or at the end of life, we are all going either upward. So nobody is taking with him anything.
Exactly.
So love each other, be helpful, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And honestly, this, like I said, I'm going to very soon have to interact with somebody that makes me very uncomfortable. And it's fine. And I know I don't have a choice in the matter, but I just needed this reminder. So subhanAllah, I was supposed to interview you today, so you give me all the sound advice. And then, what was the question again? How do I want to be remembered?
I applied it again for you.
It's okay. The whole point of the game is whatever feels most natural to you is what you go with. And yeah, for me, I feel like I just want to be remembered as a kind person. Like, I want you to feel like, oh, Jo is nice. She helped me with something, because I do tend to go out of my way to help people with whatever it is they can go through if I have the capability. Because also if I don't, I'm very honest about what my limitations are. And I'm like, okay, I can help you with XYZ, but if you want ABC, that I can't do. But I can connect you with someone who could. So
this is being helpful also.
Yeah. Oh yeah, true. Actually, I don't think of it like that. I always felt like if I can't be the one to help, I'm not helping. Oh, good to know.
You helped him to tell him, to guide him with whom to speak to.
Yeah, true.
If you cannot do what you cannot do, you do your best. Can you do more than your best?
No, I cannot. That's all it is. But yeah, I just hope that, there's no like ill will, and it's just like, no matter what happened between me and somebody else, that they will say no, but at the end of the day, she did a good thing, or whatever it is.
Exactly.
And if people don't feel that way, it's your problem. So
as time goes by, and we become older and wiser, you start changing your perspective in life.
Yeah.
So there are people who really are concerned of what other people will think, or what if I do this. For me, I never thought this way. Khalas, do whatever is good for you. Why do you have to worry about what people will think? What she is dressing, why is she doing like this? It's none of your business.
True.
For me, 24 hours finish, and I didn't do everything that I want to do for myself, for my family, and for my work. Why do people have where do they find time
to worry about everything else?
You shouldn't care about what people think. This is my opinion. Do what's good for you without hurting anybody. Do what's good for you in a decent way.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. But yeah, I needed to hear this today, so thank you for that.
Welcome.
Okay, let's see. Oh, that was easy. It was easier than I thought. What is one missed opportunity you wish you had a second chance at?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Because everything that has happened to be, good or bad, it helped me reach where I am today.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. It means it was for my own good.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many times you think, oh my God, why did this happen? What did I do? But then you don't have the bigger picture. After few days, few weeks, few months, maybe few years, you will understand why it happened to you.
Yeah, true.
Now you are here. So whatever happened, good or bad, it made me who I am today.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you as well. I take the time to think about something. If, for example, if there's an opportunity presented to me, and I choose to decline or whatever, or I've missed that opportunity, I'm okay with it, because if I choose to decline it, first of all, it's because I've really thought about it, and there's a reason behind it, and it's okay. Even if it was something I wanted to do to a certain extent, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But then also if it's something, for example, like somebody asked me to be, for example, complete example to be part of a conference and I'm like, oh, give me a moment to think about it, but then they find another speaker or something, that's also okay because it wasn't written for me to do this. So I've made peace with that. But if you ask like 19-year-old me, I'd be like, all of these things.
When you are more mature, you will understand them more.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, alhamdulillah, I don't have like regrets about that or wish that I had a second chance at anything because everything that was meant to be was. And again, also, even when I wrote this question, I had a different perception. So much has changed in the last, like, what, 4 to 5 months since I wrote this. So, yeah. I've also grown. Okay. There we go. That was easy.
I will not lose, Jouhayna. How do you approach decision-making, especially with a difficult choice to make? How do you approach decision-making, especially with a difficult choice to make? Okay. So basically, if we have a decision to make with a difficult choice to make, usually I love to discuss it with my husband, with my kids, and weigh the pros and cons. And then we always put more than one scenario and discuss it. I always love when my mother-in-law was still with us. Also, we used to sit, if there is something dealing with them, mother-in-law and father-in-law, we used to sit and they used to do the same thing. So this is really a nice technique. I love to hear the perception of other people, and then I do my own decision.
Okay, yeah, like consulting everyone.
Yeah. So weigh the pros, the cons, prioritize. If this you do now, after you can do another thing, always prioritize. This is what I do also in my business. I don't feel stressed anytime in Daniel, even if I have a market or a very big order. I have corporate orders, sometimes hampers. Even if I'm short on time, I like to write, pencil and paper, not mobile. I love to scratch things. I finish this. So if I have a plan, I enter the kitchen, I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 in this order. I go inside, I finish everything and go out, Also in the decision, you put priorities. Okay, so let us prioritize this task now. This one we can do later on. And I've read it again before you.
It's okay. It's whatever feels most natural for you as the guest. For me, I have a similar process, and I even mentioned it in like one of the previous episodes. For me, first I'll meditate on it. So I'll just like take the time to just find some stillness. And also when I'm praying, when you pray and you have some thoughts that come into your head, I just feel like that's me getting advice from Allah. Just like, oh, thank you for that. So you're getting some sort of guidance while you're praying or meditating and then what I'll do after that, after I've felt what I feel about the certain situation and decision, is then I also will go consult the people that their opinion matters to me.
Exactly.
So my mom, all my mothers,
the three mothers,
Andy, and then it depends on which sister, because all three of us are completely different to one another.
Yeah.
So I'll decide which sister I feel will give me the best feedback, because otherwise, again, we're all so different. And then I'll see what they have to say about it. And also if it's a decision that affects the person that I care about, So I feel like most of my decisions would affect indirectly, it would be Andy and my 3 dogs, because they live with me. So we have to make a collective decision together. I agree. Like I'll go with that, and then I'll make a knowledge decision based on what I felt in myself without anybody else's bias first.
Yeah.
And then see what everybody else has to say. And if it resonates with me, and then if it's something that I agree with or disagree with, and then I'll make the decision based on my own collection of like data and my own feelings. So yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay. How do you cope with hardship?
how do you cope with hardship? Something difficult is happening, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. First reaction. First, it depends. Hardship in which sense? If it's something, if I lost someone, this will be different than if hardship in work or in, if it's something really a person, or of course I will scream, I will cry, I will do it. But then, can we do something? So any hardship, I ask myself, if you can do something to change it, do. If you cannot do anything to change it, you have to accept it.
True.
So basically, this is it. Can you do something? Is something very, for instance, recently we lost my mother-in-law. It was very, very, very fast, very rapid. So it was a shock for us. But then what can you do? Can we do something? We cannot do anything. So you have to accept it.
Yeah, true.
The hardship, financially, you do your best to overcome them. A hardship, health, I hope nobody will experience it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, for me with hardship, first I'll feel my feelings because, I feel like I've become more emotional as I've grown older and more in tune with my emotions, because I was very emotionally constipated growing up. I never cried. Even as a child, my mom told me I did not cry.
Wow.
Yeah.
For me, I cry quickly.
Oh, yeah? No, I feel like now I've become a little bit more that way, but it's because of the work I've done with my life coach, She told me it's okay to cry. And I'm like, what do you mean?
I don't want to cry. I'm a princess.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a princess who doesn't cry. So growing up, I never cried. I was always strong. And then with whatever hardship we had growing up, I was the rock for everyone, for my mom and my younger sisters. So the whole, in my opinion, my whole world was crumbling as a child and teenager. And I'm stoic. You wouldn't know something was wrong. You would never know. Wow. And then when I started working with a life coach, just to find direction with my life, continue to be productive and have some guidance, we delved into, what can you do? How do you react to things? And sometimes it's like a really intense reaction and sometimes it isn't, but you will never know what I'm going through inside. And she's like, Jouhayna, when's the last time you cried? I'm like, what do you mean?
Crying is healing.
Yeah. And now I understand that, but I wouldn't have done that before. So, we had a session and it was like a hypnosis session that she did with me. And there was some memory that was unlocked and I couldn't stop crying.
Wow.
And I was like in hypnosis, I'm like, why is my face wet? Because there were tears. Wow. Then after we came out of it and she's like, oh, Jouhayna, you cried. And I was like, yeah, what is this? Like, what is this wet on my face? And I think I was like 20. This was during COVID that I was doing this work. So, it was during COVID that I started this because I felt a little bit lost with the whole pandemic and everything. So it was all through Zoom, actually. So I'm speaking to this lady on Zoom. And so that's the first time I felt like tears as an adult properly. And I was like, oh, what is this? And why isn't it stopping? And then this unlocked. This was my unlock.
Wow.
So anyway, you asked me about hardship, but this is now how I dealt with hardship before was emotional constipation. And now I deal with it I let whatever emotion I'm feeling out, ideally alone, because I don't want anybody else to be exposed to that like madness. Because I became so in tune with my feelings after that. There was one time I was on my way home and I'm pretty sure I was like PMSing or something because I live so far. Like, thank you for doing the drive, by the way. So I was driving and if I miss this one McDonald's, that's it. And I missed it and I wanted the ice cream cone so bad. And I wanted McDonald's ice cream. I don't want any other ice cream from the supermarket. I wanted McDonald's ice cream that day and I drove past the exit because I was distracted and like I was either talking to somebody on the phone or listening to a podcast or something. and I missed the exit. And when I realized, because I never cried as a child, I don't know how to cry. So I actually cried like this, actually like this. And then tears rolled. And then Andy, he laughs at me when he sees it because he thinks I'm joking. Even my mom, she's like, what is that? Because it looks like I'm pretending, or it looks like I'm a very bad actor trying to cry. But it's actually how I cried.
This is how you discovered crying.
Exactly. So I'm literally... yeah, and then it's so dramatic as well, because I'm like, oh, that's what I watched on TV.
No, for me, I'm very emotional.
Okay.
I get tears to my eyes quickly.
Okay.
And when there's something very emotional, I cry.
Yeah.
For instance, in church, in every mass, when we are in church, when I listen to a certain song, and even if I don't listen to any song, I cry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Really, when I pray at church, I cry every time, every single time, and it feels very peaceful.
Yeah. Now I understand the beauty in crying and to be in touch with my feelings. So now I'll feel my feelings, because also I'll do it alone because I'm a weird crier. You know, like you need to come to Daniel and you tell me my favorite jar is out of stock, and you'll see it.
Now I know what to
you know. Yeah, just like hide the garlic and be like, Joey ran out. So I'll feel my feelings. Now I'll feel my feelings, which I never used to do before. And then I'm just going to make a calculated
really very
decision.
good for you.
Yeah, it is. Now really I know that. Because once you've let it go as well, it doesn't come up later when something else comes up.
Exactly.
Because if you bottle it up, then something small will happen, and something from
like a volcano will be.
Yeah, exactly. So I deal with hardship now. So now I'll do my weird cry, and then if it's something that's emotional for me, because no matter what emotion I felt, I would cry because I didn't feel any emotions before. Exactly. I suppressed my emotions before. So now I'll actually first ask myself, and this is what my life coach told me, she's like, Jouhayna, first ask yourself what you're feeling. So if the hardship makes me angry, I acknowledge I'm feeling anger. If it makes me sad, I'll acknowledge I'm feeling sad, and then I'll release my emotion whichever way. So I started kickboxing recently.
Oh,
so great. There's nothing like kicking a bat. So if it's a hardship and I need to let the anger out, I'll do something physical to physically exert it out. If it's emotional, where it makes me sad, I'll just... you know. And then after that, I'll decide if I can make a plan. As you mentioned, you know, can I do something about it? Can I not? And for me, I will feel better if I've done something, because I have that's my thing. So yeah, and then I'll act on whatever it is that I can do. And sometimes if it's me going through a hardship with somebody else and we're both going through it together, I'll ask them, what do you need from me? Because then I can help them in that way, and then it'll satisfy me as well, because I'll know what to do to help the person that's next to me, and if we're going through it together. So yeah, there's nothing like trauma bonding with someone over hardship.
Yeah.
So yeah,
because they understand what you're going through.
Exactly. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, but thank you for coming for this episode. Well, I had so much fun with you.
Great too, Jouhayna. Really, I was a bit stressed before, but no, it's really nice.
Yeah. Oh, alhamdulillah. Yeah, this is so good, because like when you told me you've never done anything like that before, first I was like, why haven't you been on a podcast or a show or something? Because you have this like beautiful energy about you, and also you have so much knowledge, not just about like technical things like food and educating people about what to put into their bodies, but you know, just you're so welcoming, and you have so much like knowledge that you share with your kids that you're not scared to share with everybody else as well. So you really do make people around you feel like family. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Jouhayna. You're so welcoming, and you make the guests feel at home.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, and thank you for choosing to come to my house as well, because each guest, they have the choice to choose where they want to be. So thank you for doing the drive, because as you know, if you miss that one McDonald's, there's no going back. And then also choosing to come to the house as well. And the dogs clearly wanted to be involved. There was so much barking. I don't know what's going on outside, but I'll like look at the cameras, and we can even go say hi to them if you want. But thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It was really an honor to spend this time with you, because I only get you for a few minutes in Ripe Market, and that's enough. So now I've got a good tip. I've got like a solid hour 45 or something of just spending time with you on camera. So thank you.
Likewise.